All right, we're recording?
Yeah, we are recording.
All right. Well, I'm Isaac,
I'm Cole.
and we are now down a man.
No O'Brien, unfortunately.
Yeah, no O'Brien. So this isn't like a real Criterion
This is
coffee
yeah.
episode?
This isn't even a real episode.
Do we... I don't know how that... Would this be like episode 5.5, or would this just be like its own offshoot?
I think you just
naming?
say it's bonus episode 1.
Yeah, but that's so lame. That's so lame. What if it's like... Boutique brewing buds?
What if it's bootleg episode?
Wait, we got to keep the alliteration though, because like Criterion Coffee Club.
Oh, okay. It's beautiful brewing brewing bootleg boutique brewing beautiful boutique brewing bootleg bubbly bootleg. B-list bootleg
Brews.
buttercup. Bonus.
This is what happens when we lose a man.
Bonus bootleg bubble.
Bonus bootleg bubble. I like how we just stuck to the B's.
Well, there's nothing else. Besides, there's only 25 other letters anyway. Or 26? Wait. It's 27 letters in the alphabet. Well, we can't use C again. That'd be lame. So really there is only 25 others besides B. You'll figure it out in post.
You know what? Yeah, fix it in post, the classic. So, I guess you want me to talk about what we're drinking?
Oh, well, real quick. I just wanted to clarify for the listeners. We are not going over our Criterion from last week because we don't have O'Brien. It didn't feel right to do a proper episode without him. So whenever we're missing a guy, we're just going to do, this isn't a Criterion film. This is just a random movie. Yeah. Isaac sent me a list of movies. I picked this one.
My backlog.
Yeah. And
mostly.
And we just watched it, and you know, this is like a real casual episode.
Yeah, we'll probably do more of the like random, like how Cole just had a stroke earlier.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, yeah, so we didn't choose like a number generator. We didn't look at any specific boutique label, even though all but one of the movies I gave Cole was Arrow Video.
Right.
It was really just like, here's some movies on my backlog, and then I was like, okay, a few of them were like kind of pretty out there.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I'm going to throw in these two movies as well, even though I've already seen them. I'm going to throw in these two for you because I was like, one, I think you would just really like them. And then two, I was just trying to give you a little bit more options.
And then you read me like a book.
Yeah. I also, genuinely, I was like, should I even put these on here? And I was like, no, these are going to be the two that Cole likes the most. And then you ended up choosing. You kind of went back and forth on the two of them.
I did.
I was like, yeah. But, so the movie we watched is Sailor Suit and Machine Gun.
Yeah.
Now.
I'm sorry, the title's awesome.
Last night, when I put in the disc, and then I was greeted with the play movie thing, I had a realization. I don't know if we watched the same movie, because I watched the director's cut, which is 20 minutes longer.
Whoa! That's crazy. Okay, that's interesting.
So I think this will determine.
Yeah.
And when I was watching it, by the way, I put it on. I saw it play as like either theatrical or directors, and I was like, I don't remember which one I originally watched, and I don't remember this in general. So Cole probably watched one of these. I don't know which one.
The one I watched was an hour and 54 minutes long.
Okay, so you watched the theatrical.
Okay, because this is a little over 2 hours.
Yeah. So, and I couldn't remember which one I watched. And I was like, I'll just do the director's cut.
I'm so curious what it does with that extra runtime.
We'll get into it,
okay.
but like I was like, I'll just do the director's cut because then it has all the stuff.
Yeah.
Like nothing. Like if a scene was cut, it was
Right.
It was just cut from the directors. But and so I was like, I'll just do that just in case.
Yeah.
And then I was like, at one point I was like, did I ever finish this movie?
Yeah.
Because like I was like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
I don't remember any of this right now. Like I was just like, it was a long time ago though. But I remember the scenes leading up to this point, and I was like, maybe I never finished it. And then a scene happened, and I was like, oh, I just watched the theatrical cut originally. Like that's when I was like, okay, because there was like a whole like 10 minutes there. I just had no.
Like I have no idea what this is.
It was great though.
So for our listeners, Sailor Suit and Machine Gun is a yakuza coming of age film.
Yeah, it's like a coming of age film, but it's like a girl running a yakuza.
Yeah.
A yakuza clan. It's awesome.
It is awesome.
It came out in 1981.
Yeah,
if I
it
remember.
is really awesome. But yeah, so like the general premise is there's this dying yakuza boss and
Chairman.
They call him the chairman, right? And when he passes away, like he's like on his deathbed, and he tells like his family, his crime family, he's like, find my nephew in Tokyo. He's he'll
take over.
He'll take over, and then we cut to this girl.
Her dad
just died.
And she's at the funeral.
Yeah, and guess what? Dad was the nephew, and so by right of inheritance,
she's like
this
15.
Yeah,
16?
she's a high schooler. This high school girl is now like the chairman of this yakuza family.
Yeah. Well, I'll talk about that later because I kind of want to. I don't want to jump right into it.
Okay. Yeah.
I am kind of excited, but like this is more relaxed.
Yeah, dude. Whatever, man.
This isn't a real episode.
Yeah, this is
real
just whatever,
episode.
dude.
This is just making sure Brian knows what's going on.
Dude, this is just a background bootleg bonus bubbly. And it's not even the big deal.
I like that one. So do you have a question for us, Cole?
Oh, sure.
I mean, I can start with facts.
Yeah, please do.
You want to start with the facts? Okay, so what Cole and I drink, the coffee, we gotta stay on theme. Yeah. Even in the not real episode, we gotta stay a little bit on theme.
Right.
I tried out this roaster. I'm not sponsored. Sponsored yet. Although, you know what? I might at them in the social media posts.
Sure.
I should have taken a picture of the brew. No, I'll just take a picture of the bag. Anyway.
Yeah, fix it in post.
Yeah, fix it in post. Anyway, and what they do is like every month they like source their beans from a different country and then roast them. Apparently they're a Texas company.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Irving.
Yeah, Irving.
Shout out Irving. You know you freaks
Texas,
out there.
So this is like El Salvador beans that we just drank. I brewed it for us. Cole already downed his, so he's just drinking sparkling water.
Yeah,
I still got mine.
My post coffee bubbly.
But what's nice is in the like box, it came. Cole's kind of looking at my hands right now, but it came with a postcard from El Salvador, with like some information about El Salvador, which is pretty cool and just like how it feels. If you want to read that, Cole, for yourself.
El Salvador is a study in contrast.
It's a pretty long thing. But
Yeah,
it also has another card here that's like information about the beans. So the tasting notes for you audience: white wine, honey, marzipan. So like this was like a light roast as well. It's got like a nice little scale.
Yeah, I'm not typically one. In the past when I've tried light roast, it has not been my thing. However, Isaac is a professional at what he does, and these beans were beautifully roasted and were delicious. And the marzipan to me really came through. There was like a cakiness almost to them, and
I think that was the marzipan.
Yeah, so it was like definitely like a sweet, lightly sweet. I don't know. It was delicious.
I think that white wine comes through like in the aftertaste.
Yeah,
like
the more like back acidic kind of.
Yeah, I try to bring down the acidity a little bit because we were also brewing for Kylie,
right?
And I picked up that she doesn't like acidic because she really likes cold coffee. So,
yeah.
Fun fact: this isn't related to the coffee fact, but if you get the poo-poos when you drink coffee, you need to drink less acidic coffee. So, and that could be from the beans. Mm-hmm. Beans themselves, typically lighter beans will be more acidic.
Right.
That could be the brewing method as well. That's a huge aspect to it. So like you get the poo-poos, try out cold brew.
Yeah, that's why
Cold brew is the least acidic. Like, it's not even
That's
close.
crazy, because I feel like sometimes when I have cold brew, it's... Anyway.
It's just a storm within you.
No, but, like, I would definitely feel like it's, like, it starts to get things moving.
Oh, yeah.
But,
maybe you drink, like, really dark cold brew.
I do.
That might
I
be
drink
what it
insanely dark cold brew.
Yeah, that might actually be what it is.
That's 100% what it is. I don't put any...
gotta be.
I drink cold brew, like, straight all the
Yeah.
time, like a monster.
Well, cold coffee in general tends to be less acidic,
Yeah.
but also in general it's more bitter.
Right.
I think we had this conversation.
Yeah, and I'm a sucker for bitter beverages.
Yeah, we had this conversation when we were driving, but like, if you were to take cold brew, iced coffee, and an iced latte, of the three, which one? I want you to order them. Which ones you think are the most bitter and most caffeinated?
Okay. I would assume cold brew is the most bitter and the most caffeinated.
You're right.
So
because it's steeped for 24 hours.
Right.
So like it's just steeped in room to cold temperature water, and then you gotta steep it for about 24 hours.
Yeah.
After that, you're kind of entering like concentrate level.
Right.
It's like teetering on the edge of human consumption plaque.
Yeah, I've definitely pushed that with a French press in my fridge before.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm gonna like we're pushing day 3, and we're gonna see what this is like.
What's your second?
I'd imagine iced coffee, but I could be wrong because a latte is gonna have espresso in it, but also it's gonna have milk, which I feel like is gonna.
You're right, actually.
Yeah, because
the iced coffee is more bitter and is more caffeinated than the latte.
Right, because the
milk dilutes the espresso.
Right.
Very much.
Okay.
So
that tracks.
Yeah, and the like iced coffee is going to have less hot water that's brewing it, and you're going to use the ice to not just chill it, but you got to compensate for that inevitably melting.
Yeah.
Because it's not like a latte where it's just mostly milk, keeping the ice from melting before you put the hot espresso in it. If that makes sense.
Right.
But yeah, that's just a little side bit. If you get the poo-poos in the morning, you might need to change up your coffee game.
That's good content right
there. So on this like Atlas Coffee Club naming convention, I like.
Yeah.
It's just like a step away from Criterion Coffee Club. They're letter A. We're C. We're right there.
Yeah.
I also found out there's a coffee shop called Criterion Coffee Shop.
Okay.
Because I looked up.
Do they do Criterion movies there, or are they just saying they're the Criterion?
I think they're using Criterion as like the actual original word,
right,
and not like the movie.
Yeah. So they're saying they're like critics who curate coffee.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But that's because I looked it up. Now, I guess I may as well. This is a good segue. We're on everything.
Yeah.
No, Cole. I'd put us on everything.
What does that mean?
Like we're on Apple Podcasts.
Shout out to all my Apple Podcast freaks out there.
iHeartRadio.
Shout out. Hey, ain't none of y'all watching this on iHeartRadio.
Not anymore.
But if you are, you're a freak, and I respect that.
You remember when iHeartRadio was the #1 podcast?
Do you remember iHeartRadio?
In general?
Yeah, or like our Radio Music Festival. Like that would come live on TV. That was like a big deal.
That's right.
It was like a big deal.
Oh man, I remember that. Man,
that's back when like people were listening to like iHeartRadio and like Pandora.
Yeah, and both of those apps have fallen tremendously.
Yeah.
Pandora's ads are just terrible.
Yeah, but Pandora and iHeartRadio, like back in the day, that's
what I used a lot.
So everyone used, man.
Yeah.
Oh, unless you were like paying for stuff, but like suddenly you didn't have to pay for stuff, and then like you could also be like a cool hipster and be like, well, I prefer to do Pandora because I find new music this way.
You just have some harsh feelings about people that listen.
No, I don't, because I actually was one of those, and I agreed.
I'm not gonna lie, it is how I found out about Lindsey Sterling, and I love.
There's so much niche music that I was exposed to from Pandora that I still listen to this day. Particularly like a lot of like the jazz music I like is strictly because like I was a kid who was playing saxophone and I had Pandora, and I was like, I know like 2 jazz musicians, you know. And so like you put on Miles Davis radio, and suddenly you're like, wow, being exposed to this whole new world. Bob Marley radio, same thing.
This is gonna sound weird, but I like Deezer because they had this mood chart thing.
What'd you call me?
Deezer, I hardly know her.
Oh man, that was gonna make it into the podcast at some point.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Deezer, I hardly know her.
But I like Deezer because they had this mood chart thing, and that was really good for finding music.
I've never heard this word used once in
Deezer?
my life. Yeah,
it tried so hard and it never picked up. It didn't try nearly as hard as Tidal. I don't know if you remember Tidal.
You're saying words? I don't know what they mean.
You know what's so funny about Tidal? When they announced themselves, because their whole thing was they did hi-fi like audio before anybody else, like Spotify still has yet to do it. Yeah. But that's its own discussion. Okay. But when they announced, they were like, yeah, and we got all these exclusive artists, and they had a whole ceremony where they got Deadmau5, Daft Punk, and I don't remember who the third one is, but they were not as big as Deadmau5. But they were on that.
Deadmau5 and Daft Punk is insane.
But like they were on that tier list of like up there with they may as well make like they make $50 million a year. I don't know if you knew that, but Deadmau5 is like one of the most successful music producers of all time. But and like they were like 4 or 5 artists of that tier.
I think Deadmau5 was involved with Gnarls Barkley. Shout out Gnarls Barkley, CeeLo Green.
Okay. Oh yeah, I love Gnarls Barkley. But they like had that whole thing, and those artists for a while were exclusive to only listening on Tidal.
That's crazy. I wish I would have known about that because when I was 14, I was super worried about high fidelity audio. Like, you know what I mean? Like
I've ascended. My high fidelity audio is vinyl records.
Hey, no, but see, that's why. That's how I conned myself into getting into vinyl records as a kid.
I just won my record player in a raffle, and I was like, sure, I guess I.
No, let's call it how it is, because what it really was is like I wanted to be a little hipster punk, and I wanted to like
with your Beatles,
my Beatles records, and I just wanted old stuff because I thought it was cool, but I was like able to like justify the fact that like I have no money and I spend all my money on vinyl records because I'm a kid.
That was before Criterion.
Yeah, that was my Criterion before that. Like, came.
That's so funny.
I was like,
you would have bought that Godzilla.
Oh yeah,
Spy number 1000.
Well, because I worked. I started working when I was 14, illegally. I was not like.
I was about to say, is that even legal?
No, illegally for sure. I'm not going to say who I was working for because it was a business that it was definitely wasn't. Anyway, I was getting paid cash under the table. It's whatever. Don't come for me. But like I would spend. I have an original pressing of every Creedence Clearwater Revival album because when I was 14.
Oh, you mean the 4 albums they made?
In 6.
Well, they were only a band for 4 years, Cole. And then the lead singer was like, I don't need you fucks anymore. And then left and started a solo career that bombed immediately.
Yeah, well, I have all of those albums.
It's crazy.
Original pressings. Because when I was 14, I was like, oh my God, I have to have that.
You have to have Creed. Okay, I will say, I love CCR.
Yeah, of course.
It's crazy. Like, when I found out that they were only a band for 4 years and they made some of the most iconic songs.
Cosmos Factory is one of my favorite albums ever.
I thought I could pull a song out my ass. I
Shout out Green River.
Anyway, did you know... exclusively for Atlas members...
Their cover of I Put a Spell on You is perfection. Anyway...
6th generation coffee farmers, Humberto and Beto Escapani, a remarkable father-son duo, reserve a portion of their top-tier beans just for you.
I'm
now 3 years into our partnership, we're honored to share their latest exceptional batch. I could have made the coffee stronger.
That's wild. I'm maybe I don't know, but
you know what? One day I'll just like bring some beans. I'm like, let's see how far is too far.
Let's not. Let's not push the limits. I think it's because I've already had a double shot of espresso today.
Oh, that's what it was.
And
You know how I knew
then
you had your double shot of espresso?
Yeah.
Because the last time I showed up here to record in the afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
and you walked out, I was like, this man has not had any caffeine because you looked like you were ready to just jump in a river.
Yeah, that's
just sit there.
That's unfortunately my life before I use any
Yeah, that was me
caffeine.
on Sunday. I was like, I don't need caffeine today.
Yeah.
And then I also realized how much caffeine helps my undiagnosed and unmedicated ADHD.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I was just
How
sitting there,
else
like,
would I be a
brain
human?
dead.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm thinking of 5,000 things at once, all sad.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about sad. That sounds like not ADHD.
All sad.
All sad. You just like sit there contemplating, man, I really saw the first Suicide Squad in theaters.
I'm just like...
I did.
Sometimes you just sit there.
I saw that and Batman
Then
vs.
you
Superman
start doing
in
like
theaters.
math. You're like, I'm this old. My parents are this old. If I'm lucky, I get like another good 20 years out of him. But my dad has this thing, so like he's like another 5 would be good.
Oh my god. Anyway, enough about your history. Here's some of El Salvador's coffee history.
Beautiful.
Coffee was known early on in El Salvador as the grain of gold for its promise of progress and wealth. By the 1930s, coffee made up an incredible 90% of El Salvador's exports, but was controlled by just a handful of coffee barons. After nearly a
coffee
century
barons is crazy.
I know, right? Lord of the Beans.
Yeah, because it's like, it just sounds less nefarious than an oil baron, but it certainly isn't.
It gets crazier. After nearly a century of forced labor and displacement,
That's what I meant by isn't.
rural workers began to organize and eventually reclaimed their land. And in the aftermath of the Civil War of the 1980s, coffee finally emerged as a pathway to prosperity for small farmers.
Can we film this? It's pretty much There Will Be Blood, but it's coffee instead of oil.
That's awesome.
I'm a coffee man.
Challenges remain, but today small growers are beginning to experiment with new high-grade varietals and to adjust their growing and processing practices to conserve water and native ecosystems, meaning some of the coffee coming out of El Salvador is incredibly unique and rare, including this month's offerings from the Apanica region.
So we're saying ethically processed coffee with unique flavors?
Well, sorry, it's fully washed processed coffee.
Fully washed. Yeah.
The altitude was 1,400 meters.
That's
and
huge.
It's from the sub-region of Apanica. I was not good at Spanish. I tried so hard.
Yeah,
I failed
I'm not
so
going to be any
miserably.
better. So.
Ahu Chapan. I butchered that.
Right.
Coffee notes. Discover a perfect balance in your cup with a light crispiness similar to that of green grapes or apples, alongside a buttery, creamy weight. Nutty and dry flavors reminiscent of toasted almond and marzipan round out this offering, providing a delicious and sensational coffee experience.
Yeah, I think the buttery sweet was definitely more what I picked up on. But like you said, you purposely tried to make it less acidic, and I'm sure the grape notes are more in the acidic.
Absolutely.
aspect of it.
I'm usually if you see when you buy beans, this is just something to note.
Yeah.
Some things to look out for. First of all pre-ground coffee is stale.
Right. Get it out of here.
Regardless of, I don't care what you people are going to say, pre-ground coffee is stale because it oxidizes so quickly.
Yeah.
It can take like after I ground those beans earlier, the reason why I did it right beforehand is because it probably would have been stale in 20 minutes.
Well, and then like one thing to keep in mind, if you don't believe that, just mess with them.
Yeah.
Like pre-ground coffee is so dry, and then whole coffee beans feel like they have almost like a liqueur, like a because they're roasted.
Some really dark roasts,
because they're really oily.
Decaffeinated ones can like really secrete those oils a lot. I have some decaf beans at home that are pretty oily. Another thing to note is if you buy it from a store like Walmart, like let's say it's let's say for some reason Walmart is selling a specialty coffee beans. Like one that I like is called Good Grounds.
Yeah.
No, that's the coffee shop. Greater Goods. Is a different bean.
Shout out Good Grounds.
It's not even at Good Grounds.
Yeah.
But like they're also from Texas. Greater Goods is from Texas.
So is Good Grounds.
That's true. Anyway, like let's say Walmart's selling them.
Yeah.
It's much better for me to order them online than from Walmart, because if I buy it from Walmart, that bag of beans would have had to go from the roaster to a Walmart distribution center,
right?
Through the Walmart trucks, and then eventually end up at my Walmart like 3 months later.
Shout out to any of my people out there who are working at a corporate like distribution center, because, wow.
it's just a shout out episode.
Yeah, I'm really into shout outs today. So
yeah, I picked up on that. But so that's why it's always fresher. And then that and a lot of specialty roasters roast fresh to order. And then that way you have time for it to rest after it finally makes its way to your door.
Right. Okay. Roast to order. Roast to order made it sound like, to me, reminds me of like they put that patty on the grill the moment you place your order, but that's not. It's more like they put those beans in the roaster like when you like, I want a bag.
Yeah.
For later.
Yeah, pretty much. But they do that because it gives it time to rest while it's in the transferring phase, and then also it's just fresher when you get it, and then you can rest it. Some beans some super specialty I've seen where they have like a card that's like, hey, you want to wait like 40 days before you try these. Because that's enough time for it to rest, which is crazy to me.
I hear that. Do you know how pissed I would be?
Oh my god!
If I got a bag.
I get you. The general rule of thumb is like
I'm so excited for these new beans I got coming in. I'm so excited.
If it's like super light, probably more on the closer to the 2-week side.
Right. But you get some dark oily beans.
These I waited like a week, and you tried them on Saturday.
Yeah.
And that was like pretty much right at like 6-7 days.
Yeah.
And they were still delicious.
Yeah.
But also, one thing you'll notice is when you buy it from a coffee shop or online, they'll have the roast date written on the thing to show you how long it's been since it was initially roasted. God, I almost had a stroke there. And then if you buy it from Walmart, they won't have that because they don't want you to know, because they actually don't want you to know how old the beans are.
Right. They don't want you to know those beans are from like 2 years ago.
Yeah, because it's also definitely been sitting in the back, and then once when it flies off, once when it gets off the shelf, then they put the back stock
and then also
on the shelf.
and also keep in mind how they stock shelves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's true.
Like that bag you bought had finally made its way to the front
4 or 5 months after it's been roasted, and it's well past.
Well, yeah, because like they kept restocking the shelf, so it kept getting pushed back because it was the first one on the shelf. And now that it's finally the last bag on the shelf, it's been 1.5 years and it's finally ready.
And then the crazy thing is that's probably pre-ground, and that's even staler.
Y'all stop drinking stale coffee. What about Keurig cups? You love those though, yeah?
I've tried it one time, and I was like, those were old beans, but the person warned me, like, hey, I haven't used this in ages, but I was like, I really need caffeine right now, though. And also, it was Starbucks Pike Roast, so,
you talk about using a Keurig cup, like someone talks about, like, that one time they did LSD in college. You're like, I tried it one time, it wasn't for me.
You know what it was like for me? It was like watching Suicide Squad in theaters.
Yeah. You were like, whoa.
You're like...
One time's enough. We're not going to do that again.
What are we, some kind of Suicide Squad? That would be so bad.
Yeah, say that again.
Wait, say that again. I never got into a movie fact.
Yeah.
You know what? It's not a real episode.
Movie fact, you should never set up saying the name of your superhero group like that.
That's so true. On either side.
Yeah.
Cole, I don't think you're ready for my movie fact, though.
Okay, I'm here. Hit it. Hit me with it.
So, and it's a very Muppet Christmas.
Okay.
It came out around Christmas time. they also filmed it around Christmas time the year before.
Right.
Probably more in like a November area.
Yep.
And this came out in the early 2000s. So and that It's a Very Muppet Christmas is basically just It's a Wonderful Life, but Kermit's the main character. So you see the life without Kermit and the life with Kermit, right? Well, this movie takes place in New York. And so when you're looking at the life without Kermit, when you look through the background, there's a window. And if you look through that window, there's none other than the World Trade Center. And when it cuts back to the life with Kermit, which they filmed later,
Right.
the World Trade Center is not there.
Right.
Which means, in Muppet lore, Kermit's life somehow either directly or indirectly caused 9/11.
So you said I wasn't going to be ready for it. And I'm not.
Kermit caused 9/11?
Well, did he, or is he just also an unfortunate soul who is affected by the tragedy?
Yeah, I mean, it could be a butterfly effect.
It could be a butterfly effect.
Could be a butterfly effect.
You know, indirectly.
You know what? You know what else? You know what? I'll throw another one at you, Cole.
Okay.
In the movie Planes.
Okay. The sequel to... Wait. Planes?
Yeah.
Oh, the Cars.
Yeah, Cars,
spin-off.
but Disney wanted more money, but Pixar didn't want to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah. Well, there's an establishing shot of New York,
Oh.
and there's no Twin Towers.
Okay.
So there's a good chance that in the world of planes,
Yeah.
that
Right.
9/11 happened, and it was a sentient plane that was a terrorist.
That's actually not very different.
Okay.
What?
There's, the Pope Mobile in Cars 2. If you think about it,
Okay.
that means
Yeah.
that implies that there was a Pope, that there was a Jesus car, and he was crucified on a cross.
I imagine the cross looks like the hitch from a tow truck. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. They hoisted him up by the hook.
Oh no.
Oh, what do you think was the crown of thorns?
It is weird to think about like terrible tragedies in
kids' movies.
Well, like particularly Cars, because
it's
all
stupid.
sentient. It's all sentient vehicles doing this. To
Well,
each other.
isn't there like a United Nations, which means World War II happened?
Or think of like Exxon oil spill, but it's like a sentient tanker who's just like
oh
bleeding out in the ocean.
that's got to be awful. Well, if the United Nations, because I'm pretty sure they established it in Cars.
And
2.
oil and gas is still like a real industry. It's super important, maybe the most important industry.
Yeah, it's their lifeblood.
Yeah.
It's like literally their
That
lifeblood.
hippie van.
Yeah.
He creates his own.
Man.
Yeah, man, creates his own oil and gas. It's like super important.
Oh man, there's so many things.
I don't.
in Cars.
You're actually making me think too critically about the Cars universe, and I really don't like it. It's
where
killing
are
the
their
magic
organs?
for me.
Oh, you know, there are like 3 separate occasions that prove that the headlights are just their nipples.
But have you seen the drawings? You've seen it.
Of the organs?
No. The early, like when they were first coming up with character designs, originally the eyes were going to be the headlights, like in Herbie Fully Loaded.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's
Terrifying.
horrifying to
Yeah,
look
it's
at.
not good.
Yeah, I'm so glad they made that decision to not do that.
I mean, I think it would have given children nightmares.
Oh yeah.
That does not work in an animated
Have you heard
situation.
of the Pixar Black Friday incident?
No.
Oh man, that's so when they were making Toy Story, first fully CG animated movie, they did a test screening on Black Friday. So they referred to it as the Black Friday.
Yeah.
And it went horrible. Nobody liked it.
Okay.
Because back then, Woody was a dick.
Right.
No. He's a bit of an ass in Toy Story, but you kind of see where he's coming from.
Yeah.
I mean, he was an absolute, he was basically a villain.
Wait? Like, this is post Toy Story?
No, this is pre-Toy Story.
So-
They did a test screening of an animatic.
Oh, okay.
And in the animatic, it's the scene where Buzz accidentally falls out the window. Only in it, Woody that shook his hand and threw him out the window.
So awesome.
And then everybody's like, "Oh no, Buzz!" And then Woody's like, "I don't know what happened."
Yeah.
And then you see him waltz back to the bed and sit casually there, and everybody confronts him, and they're like, "Woody, you shouldn't have done that." And he's like, "Yeah, what are you guys gonna do about it?" And then like Slinky the dog comes up, and then he has an insult for him that's something like. So I don't know. I think he referred to him as like some kind of stupid wiener dog.
Oh, okay.
Like he was like an.
I thought it was gonna be like a made up word for toys that behave bad or something.
No. There's some early animations of Woody when he was like a wooden doll, and he was Buzz was like the size of a Happy Meal toy.
Oh no.
Yeah, the ventriloquist wooden doll look. That's what Woody was.
Terrifying.
Was not great, and also
And then
Buzz Lightyear's original name was, I shit you not, Lunar Larry.
So I mean, you got to start somewhere. It's amazing how much revision that needs.
It went from point A to point B. They saw Black Friday. People saw Black Friday and said, "I cannot relate to
this
Woody
at all.
Whatsoever."
Yeah. But he's a sociopath.
Horrible. He's an absolute psychopath.
Yeah.
Even.
Yeah.
You can find the
He's
animatic.
like Dennis Reynolds.
No, that's what he was. Because he was so mean to Slinky alone, and it's like
he has a god complex.
It's like if Superman.
I am the favorite toy.
It's like if Superman in the latest movie was just evil was like Lex Luthor to Krypto, but like the whole movie, like that kind of level of.
And that's more
stupid dog.
It's more difficult for people to relate
to.
to.
It's not like lovable like Eustace and Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Sure. I love Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Oh, one of my favorites.
But as a kid, I had an out for Eustace.
You're supposed to not like Eustace, though.
I do think there are moments where you see
Eustace's like mushier side.
Yeah,
He
his
are,
humanity.
And then you also like see Eustace's like how he grew up in one episode, and you're like, yeah, this makes sense. His mom sucked.
Yeah, Eustace is a survival.
Yeah, it's just, and then there's always Muriel.
Yeah.
Man, I got so teary-eyed when the voice actress for her died.
Okay.
You know, the voice of Courage is the only one of the three.
Please stop.
4 that's like left.
I'm gonna start doing math. So that was Yakuza movies, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I need to ask you a question.
You don't have to. It's not a real episode.
That's true. I'll think about it.
No, now you have to ask me a question.
Okay. Okay. I've been so DC minded lately. I've been consuming every interview that is out there with any of these people.
So many posts.
I see a reel, like a short for it, and then I go find the full length version and I watch it.
You know, I've had to like reset my brain because Fantastic Four is coming out, and I've been even more excited for that one. Dude, Michael Giacchino hits so hard with that one, and you can tell how good it was because when he made it, Marvel just started promoting it everywhere.
Yeah.
Like they were like, "Here's a full orchestra to tickle y'all's scrotums."
They got what's his name as the Mole Man.
I don't know. I didn't know Mole Man was in it, so thanks, Cole. I've been trying to avoid.
I'm sorry. You've been talking about how you've been consuming reels and interviews. He's last 2 days, homie's been.
I can't believe you right now.
You haven't even seen the prequel comic?
No.
They released a prequel comic for you to read before the movie.
Okay, I'll read that.
It has it in there. That's what it's from.
Oh, it has the Mole Man?
Yes, that's when they announced it. It's the prequel comic, not the movie.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
Okay.
I'm excited for Herbie. What? You didn't know Herbie was in it?
No.
He's in the first trailer.
Oh, he is. He is.
Yeah, yeah.
He is.
I was
no,
like,
and
what
my
are you talking about?
No, my students were talking about him a lot because they thought it was really funny.
I love Herbie.
Yeah.
I'm so glad he's finally getting his live action debut.
Yeah.
In a good movie.
Yeah. That's good.
My favorite. So, if I were to rank all the Fantastic Four movies, adaptations.
That's what I was going to ask you.
I'll throw the TV shows in there. Oh, Fantastic Four specifically?
No, not at all. But it's good.
But if it was the Fantastic Four ones, I got to go number 1 all time best, The Incredibles. Number 2,
I just knew you were gonna say some shit like
The
that.
Incredibles 2.
Right.
Number 3, the unreleased 1994 directed by Roger Corman movie.
Right. Didn't isn't okay?
The cast was at the red carpet.
Okay, that's what I was about to say. Yeah.
Yeah. So what was your actual question?
So like we know X amount of people that are going to be in the DCU.
Yeah.
What is one person not announced? One character not announced? Because I know you're
officially
announced that you would.
Ooh. Well, I'm already super excited for Booster Golds.
Yeah.
Because I was like, Booster needs a third live action. Because he got played by Donald Faison, who plays him, who's in Scrubs. He plays Turk.
Yeah.
He was also in the live action Powerpuff Girls pilot that was horrible, and he played Professor Utonium. The trailer for that got leaked. Yeah. It's been since canceled because it was terrible. The trailer for it leaked. I highly recommend you to both watch it and not watch it because it's terrible.
Okay, sweet.
Chloe Bennett's also in it. Yeah. She's from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But anyway, and then I remember I think Donald Faison was for one of the Arrowverse shows. Like, the time traveling one. The Legends of Tomorrow or whatever. I didn't get that far.
Yeah, I gave up on the CW.
Yeah, at some point I was like, CW kind of suck.
I can tell you exactly how much CW I've watched. I've watched two and a half seasons of Green Arrow. I've watched a season of The Flash. Yeah, my issue with Green Arrow is at some point
they just kept retconning themselves.
Yeah,
and then everything stopped.
Well, no, and then like I stopped watching because at some point I was like, this is starting to feel more like Gossip Girl.
Yeah,
and then Green Arrow.
That really happens.
And it's like also like we're all going around in the same circle with this love element that is starting to take up a lot of screen time.
Dude, my problem with The Flash, I got a season and a half in it, and the whole series was literally just like. This is fine for the first season.
Yeah.
But the whole every season was literally I'm the fastest man alive, and every season was about how some speedster was faster than him.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be someone that he was really close to, or surprise himself.
Right.
And I was just like, no.
I watched like a little bit over a season of The Flash, couldn't get into it. And then I watched like a season of Black Lightning.
I heard that was a good one, though.
Yeah, I actually kind of was digging it.
And then it got canceled, right?
Yeah.
That was the good one.
Yeah.
I heard really good things about Superman and Lois, though.
Yeah, I have two, and I just never gave it a go.
Although the newest Superman movie has
I think I watched a couple episodes of Supergirl, or whatever
I think I
was.
did, too.
Yeah, I just... you know what? And I don't even want to hate on it, because I think for what it is, I think they knew what they were.
I think some of them were a little bit more aware than others. Like 100%. Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, and Superman and Lois knew, like, hey, we're not a big budget movie. We're just gonna have a little. We're
very much doing a TV version of Superman.
Flash,
yeah,
was hit or miss with that.
Yeah.
I've seen parts.
Green Arrow doesn't have that.
I've seen parts of Legends.
Green Arrow is straight up like a melodrama.
Yeah. I've seen parts of Legends of Tomorrow, but it was always like the ones that I were kind of interested in, like the Jonah Hex. Yeah, I heard Jonah Hex was showing up. I was like,
I'll tune in.
I gotta watch some Jonah Hex. And then there was like the Booster Gold episode, and they even got Zach Braff to be Ted Kord because everybody was like, okay, now you have to get Ted Kord played by Zach Braff because you can't have Turk but no JD or vice versa. Right. And then. I did like Booster in the episode or two he was in Smallville. So I'm really excited.
Never watched Smallville. I really need to give it a go. Great. I know. And I know James Gunn is he's been talking about how much he loves Smallville.
One thing I love about
that's why it's called Luthor Corp and not LexCorp.
Yeah, I knew that.
In Smallville, and he said
if he wanted to explore it later on, the options there.
Yeah.
But one thing I absolutely loved about the latest Superman is he had aspects of what made every Superman to some extent great. He had the Clark Kent mild manner, kind of really charming, the super charming, awesome Superman. But then he had that Smallville aspect to him that was kind of missing in a lot of them, especially Snyder.
Endearing?
So, yeah.
sorry.
So,
I
like,
love Henry Cavill too.
yeah,
I'm like,
Tom-
that's my first love.
He really got so shafted in so many ways. It's so depressing. But
Well, not just.
and I know this
DC.
is kind of like cheating because Booster Gold I think I am the most excited for overall.
Okay, yeah, but that's announced.
I know.
I said
I
it's
know.
not announced.
I'm so excited. I think there's a part of me though that like Ted Cord, Blue Beetle. Like
Oh, okay.
I hear Booster Gold, and I think also Ted Cord, Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of excited to see like a proper live action
Blue Beetle.
Because the other one also just felt like really they were just putting Zach Braff, so him and Donald just had like the banter between each other.
Did you see the Blue Beetle movie?
You know what? I gotta admit, I did not.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah, I feel really bad.
Yeah, because I
heard
love
that was a good one,
and I like Blue Beetle as a
And
character,
I love
but
Blue
it's
Beetle.
also.
I'm also glad James Gunn was like, yeah, he's gonna be Blue Beetle in our universe,
Yeah.
and he's getting an animated show. So
Yeah.
I'm not like too upset.
Yeah, it does. I do like that James Gunn didn't straight up can it because he could have.
Yeah, he could have, but he recognized one, it was good, and they actually had heart, unlike a certain bald-headed anti-hero that had his own movie and tried to take over the universe.
Yeah,
Change the hierarchy, as some might
forever,
say.
and then like tried to go over his boss's head.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that was its own thing. But
insane.
one that I really want to come out of this is
Another person who shafted Henry Cavill aggressively hard.
one. I want Jonah Hex. I mentioned him already.
Yeah.
I think Jonah Hex deserves a debut because his movie sucked.
Yep.
Starring Josh Brolin, by the way.
Yeah.
I actually heard that the script was incredibly bloody and very rated R, and then the studio said, we're going to make it PG-13, and that's what happened with that movie.
This doesn't work for certain
It
characters.
really doesn't, especially with a character like Jonah Hex.
Especially if it's a Jonah Hex and it's standalone.
like,
Come on.
like, look, Jonah Hex can be PG-13 when he's with Batman.
Right.
Batman the Animated
Yeah,
Series.
absolutely.
Or Brave and the Bold.
Yeah.
It's crazy that those are like the two adaptations that we have that are good.
Yeah.
And it's Batman the Animated Series and Brave and the Bold.
Yeah.
Although that I think is a really interesting thing to explore, Jonah Hex and Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
Because that's what they did in the animated series. And James Gunn did say he based this universe off of the Timverse, Bruce Timverse.
Yeah.
And Young Justice, like a combination of
Yeah.
the two, of like already really well established characters. And,
Yeah.
So I got to give it to Jonah, Ted Cord. I'm kind of go old timey here
Yeah.
with characters. Oh, Cole, it's so loud.
I know. I'm so sorry. That's really embarrassing.
And you know, I'm gonna throw it out there. The Question.
Okay.
I want a good noir of The Question. Like, if I can get a mini series that's in the vein of like the Maltese Falcon, but like a faceless vigilante, I'm all here for it. There's a couple other characters I think that I would really, really, really enjoy seeing in this new
World.
Yeah, this new.
Can I give you my top ones?
Yeah, give me your top three.
I really want Martian Manhunter.
Oh, absolutely.
Really bad.
Him and like Zatanna.
Yeah.
Two powerhouses of the Justice League,
Yeah.
and their live actions happen to be in Smallville,
Yeah.
and the other one was in the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
So depressing.
Yeah.
Of both the cats. Although Zatanna was pretty cool. She was my main.
Then
in
I
Injustice.
think Dead Man.
God.
I would really like to see.
Guillermo del Toro, Dead Man.
Print it.
No, I'm gonna take it one step further.
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro can do Swamp Thing.
Which would be perfect.
I'm gonna ban him from Dead Man
Yeah.
because the only person I think that would do the best job at doing Dead Man.
Yeah.
Hear me out on this. Criterion Closet Visitor,
Yeah.
Japanese speaker
Yeah.
Hideo Kojima.
Yeah, doing Dead Man would be insane.
If we could get Hideo Kojima to direct Dead Man,
That would be insane.
I'm here for it. Oh, that also means, like, I would love if Etrigan the Demon comes in.
Dude, so, like, my whole thing is...
The whole magic side of DC.
I know, I want a Constantine movie. That was my
I was
next
just
one.
about to say, Constantine, what's his name? Can come back as him. He is Constantine.
Yeah, the guy from the show.
Yeah, the guy from the show, and then he also voiced him in the animated movies because he looks and sounds just like him, and he's perfect.
Etrigan would also be huge.
Etrigan would be amazing.
I love him in a lot of comic books.
I love him in the animated movies, too.
Yeah, and also just the rhyming convention.
Oh, it's always a killer.
Yeah. Yeah. I do think, like, if I had to, like, I think Deadman, Constantine.
Deadman, directed by Hideo Kojima, right?
Yeah.
What if he does Constantine?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think my top choices for, like, the magic side of the DC universe is Kojima, I think, would be perfect for Deadman and Constantine. Guillermo del Toro can do any of them. Zatanna, Constantine, Deadman,
sign me up.
Swamp Thing.
Oh, and then what's his name? I have to look up his name.
Etrigan. I think Del Toro is perfect for Etrigan.
Mike Flanagan.
Oh, he's doing Clayface, right?
Oh, you're right. He is doing Clayface.
He's doing Clayface. Yeah, he came into James Gunn's office and was like, "Here's a script. Here's my idea."
A body horror Clayface movie.
And then James Gunn said, "Yes, we're fast tracking this."
This is
crazy.
We're gonna move on and talk about the Yakuza movie.
But
this is the last. My favorite thing I've heard James Gunn say through all the press tours and all the things I've said is specifically that his vision, his dream for the DCU is he wants every movie to feel like the director who made it is an individual artist who is adding themselves to this universe, and he doesn't want it to feel like formulaic, or that the movies have an overarming tone or theme that's between all of them, which is like largely that's what the MCU is. Like the MCU feels more like they're Kevin Feige movies before they're the director's movies. And that's James Gunn, and his reasoning for that, it wasn't just because he is a filmmaker and appreciates that. Yeah, because him and
Kevin are pretty good friends.
Yeah, it's nothing like that. And Kevin was a big backer of his.
Yeah, because with Superman and Fantastic Four this month, they've been talking to each other and about each other a lot. All their interviews.
And he's definitely huge. They're definitely good friends, and that's he talks about how when he got
Kevin fought for him.
Yeah, when he got fired.
When he got fired.
It is because he really feels like DC Comics. One of the things that makes them special is how tonally different they are from all across. There's so many different artists who've put their stamp on it and done different takes of different characters and different eras and how totally different it can be. And he just wants his universe to feel that. And directors, like your favorite movie directors getting in and putting that input is so fun.
Marvel Comics has, to an extent, always been like that.
Yeah.
But to kind of a lesser extent, because DC always had like the black label, where it was like the one shots, where someone would just be like, "Hey DC, can I have a crazy thing?" And then Marvel's like, they might do like the Ultimate Comics or something like that. That wasn't a part of the main continuity, but then that became a continuity itself. Like in the Ultimate Comics when they made Reed Richards an incel and he became the greatest villain of all time. You know who I'm talking about. Yes. You know what I'm talking about, really, right?
Yes.
And I find it so funny that people keep fan casting Miles Teller as that version of...
Like, I understand that movie's not good, but Miles Teller doesn't deserve that.
Okay, but also, I think Miles Teller would make a good version of the Maker out of all the people that Reed Richards.
I'm sorry, if it works, it works.
It's not my fault he looks stupid with the mustache. I would throw a symbol at Miles Teller's head. Can you imagine, like, wild concept. Mm-hmm. This hit me like a shit ton of bricks.
Okay, sure.
But you know what? Maybe even harder. Hear me out. A character that didn't originally appear in the comics, but appeared in Batman the Brave and the Bold. And he was voiced by none other than Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah.
The Music Meister. He's got his own movie or show or whatever, probably a movie. Musical. Mm-hmm. Directed by Damien Chazelle.
Wait, that's happening?
No,
Or
no,
you're pitching it. You're pitching it. Okay, Damien Chazelle would be awesome as that.
Damien Chazelle Music Meister movie.
Yeah,
I think
that's insane.
it'd be crazy.
That's insane. It's a fever dream.
That would be the most out there. That's even more out there than Daniel Craig being Sergeant Rock.
Yeah.
In this like upcoming Sergeant Rock movie that nobody knew existed.
Oh my gosh.
I think it has potential.
While we're talking about dream directors and dream casting, it's one last one, just because he said it himself. Okay.
Yeah.
Denis.
Oh, Batman Beyond. I knew you were gonna say it. I knew you were gonna say it. It's right there.
If we're gonna do a black label,
it's like $20 million right there. $20 billion. $20 billion right
dude,
there.
That movie will probably make like $2 billion.
Oh yeah, easily.
It's
your highest grossing film.
Yeah, like it is. You're talking about
James Cameron can eat his heart out.
Yeah, dude. I'm just saying that movie literally would change the world.
That movie would be awesome.
Yeah,
that would definitely have to be a black label thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I see James Gunn taking the future of DC more in the route of The Dark Knight Returns future.
Okay.
Which is the one where, Batman is super beefy and old.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking
Carrie
about.
Kelly.
Yeah, Carrie Kelly.
Yeah.
Awesome Robin, by the way.
Yeah.
One of my favorites. Top 3.
Yeah.
I think her and Dick Grayson are like my 2 favorite Robins. Jason Todd's one of my favorite characters. Not my favorite Robin.
Well, he's
awesome as Red Hood, though.
Yeah, he's like objectively not a good Robin. That's kind of why he died.
Yeah, that's true.
No hate to Jason, but
yeah, that's very true. I see that being the future. Also, the Dark Knight Returns animated movies are like some of my favorite Batman movies.
I love them.
I mean, Batman's voiced by RoboCop. How does it get any better than that? I think about that line he says where he's like, "You misunderstand. This is an operating table." And then he throws the guy on the ground, grabs his arm, and is like, "And I'm the surgeon." And then he breaks his arm.
It goes so hard. But also, like, that was largely supposed to be the inspiration for Batfleck.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's almost to the detriment. They're really leaning into the okay, oh my gosh,
We're
this
so
is
hard
becoming
on DC.
a DC podcast.
It
But like
really
we keep talking
is.
about it, like, okay, and Carter's, if he listens to this,
Carter just called me, by the way.
He knows I'm about to say
He
it.
heard us say shit talk Snyder, and it was like his
Look,
his
Batman
Johnson
versus
senses.
Superman, I think as a general concept, you are trying to combine The Dark Knight Returns and Death of Superman, which are two DC's 2 best-selling comics ever.
Yeah.
And trying to put them both into one movie and make it like introduce Wonder Woman
Horrible.
is
Horrible
just
from the
a
start.
bad concept. It's a bad idea to try to do that.
Yeah.
Because those are just 2 separate movies.
And
Has to be.
And that's leaving out the whole Lex Luthor leaving the jar of piss on the courtroom thing. I was explaining that to Alyssa, like me and my friends, Keith, who's a big fan of this podcast, but him and I were talking about the jar, and we couldn't remember if it was actually a thing of peach juice or piss.
Yeah.
And Alyssa was so confused, and then Keith just went, "See, that's the problem, is the movie's so bad, I don't know which one it actually was."
Yeah.
And we had to look it up, and we were like, yeah, so it was even worse than we thought.
Yeah.
But you know what? So what do you get when you cross a coming-of-age film with a Japanese yakuza film?
You get Sailor Suit and Machine Gun.
You get Sailor Suit and Machine Gun. Now, I don't know about you, but like, all these cinephiles are here like, A24, Focus, Miramax. Me, I see Toei and I'm like locked in.
Yeah,
I see that logo that triangle logo pop up. I'm locked in.
We're here for a good time.
I'm like, I know I'm gonna love it. Yeah. I mean, they made my favorite Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Japanese Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Talking about fever dreams.
Yeah.
I need him to show up in the Secret Wars. The actor's still alive.
Dude, that would be insane.
showed up in Secret Wars
Yeah.
or in the next Spider-Verse movie.
Yeah.
That'll be my favorite part of both those movies.
He's he's actually really, really important for Doomsday.
What if he's... Well, you know, in the Spider-Geddon comics, he actually does show up, and he has his giant robot, and he uses it to, like, cause a massive explosion. Or something in, like, this big battle.
He's in his robot, and he does, like, a robot fight with Dr. Doom in a giant mech.
Oh, my God. That sounds awesome. This is a $50 billion idea right here. James Cameron got nothing on us.
Oh,
He should give us the reins to the MCU. We'll give the people what they want.
I'll change the power structure of the MCU forever.
It's the hierarchy.
The hierarchy.
The hierarchy of the Marvel Cinematic Universe will change. Anyway, Sailor Suit Machine Gun. What were your thoughts going... I've seen this movie. What were your thoughts going in?
Honestly, it was just one of those things where I'm like, I read the synopsis and I was like, that's crazy. I have to watch that. And because it was like teenage girl inherits a yakuza clan essentially, and I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll see where this goes. And then I just expected it to be kind of like a very fun, and it is very fun, but like a very fun, like kind of. I expected it to be kind of campier than it is.
It's a lot more serious than you expected.
It is, like, really well done. First of all, the cinematography.
I was just about to say,
it's awesome.
I was just about to say the cinematography had no right being as good as it was.
So much, like, they're finding so many ways to do such interesting, dirty frames, which is one of my favorite things about Japanese cinema in general.
And also, when we're talking about using zooms,
Yeah.
it's so hard to find a movie that consistently utilizes zooms so well.
Yeah.
And Sailor Suit Machine Gun, I genuinely felt like, man, I should use zooms only from now here on out. Like, that's how it came out of that.
Genuinely, and I mean this with my full chest, some of the best uses of, like, wide shots in any movie ever. I mean, serious. Like, there were multiple times where I stepped back from the movie and I was like, the framing for this wide shot is one completely interesting.
Yeah.
It is whether it's okay, we're gonna dirty it up a little bit, or we're coming from a weird angle. There's a scene where you see her get nabbed by a car, but we're at like essentially at the sidewalk level, but we're watching it like happen like
super far away.
Yeah, I mean it's maybe like 50 yards ahead of us, and we're seeing it happen under a bridge, and we're not moving. We're just watching this play out. It's super interesting. At the end, the super long wide shot that's like through an office building looking down at their roof is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, legitimately, because, like, here's the thing about, like, a lot of times when we have, like, stationary wide-angle stuff, it's boring. And it's not, or, like, it just isn't something...
It's true.
Yeah, it's just not something that you, like, often, like, that's not something that inherently lends itself to being interesting. Obviously, what your characters are doing and, like, why you're choosing to do these, like, super wides, like, that can inform maybe why you're making that decision. But this film constantly is using these super wides, and they look amazing, and they're super beautiful.
Super wides, the usage of zooms, but also oneers.
There's tons of oneers in this movie. When they're walking through the office at the very end, they're
the one I think about all the time is the motorcycle scene. I genuinely think about that.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
Where you see the Yakuza guys, like, they're drinking, having a party, and then the camera pans over, and there's this awesome shot where, I forgot her name.
Izumi?
Izumi.
Yeah.
She's on top of the Buddha statue, and she's got, like... So, dear listeners, this 16, 15-year-old girl isn't just running one group, it's like two groups, because she has, like, a harem of dudes that, like, follow her around.
Yeah, she has, like, her family, like, her group, she has, like, this group of boys that she's friends with at school.
They're infatuated with her.
That she runs almost like a Yakuza gang.
Especially at the end.
Yeah, and especially at the end, but it's really funny because, like, she, like, doesn't want to run the clan at first, and then she realizes that they're going to be, like, essentially rash and just, like, go out
and get themselves killed.
Yeah, go out in a flame if they don't have a boss to run them, essentially. That way they're at least, like, you know, go out famous, I guess.
Yeah. Go off the bang.
And then she ends up just like treating them like the boys at school that are infatuated with her, and like they become like the family, you know?
Yeah.
And like she legitimately becomes kind of awesome at being a yakuza boss. And,
Genuinely, it's awesome.
And oh my gosh, it is really interesting. The framing in a lot of, I'm obsessed with the cinematography in this movie.
That scene where she finds when they sit down with her and talk to her about the chairman hierarchy and whatnot. Yeah, when it's like panning over, the lighting in that's crazy because you see this bright light kind of going on when she finds out that she's inheriting this clan. And then as the camera's like on this dolly track and kind of going around, the lighting gets darker. I thought about this when I was watching it. As like it gets more grim where they're like, oh, we're disbanding. Yeah. And they get all sad about it and they're having their last sake. And then all of a sudden the lighting gets more contrasty.
They smash the glasses and they go into that corner and it's dark.
Yeah. Because it's a grim moment.
Yeah. Dude, it's so good. And then also, okay, everything in the schoolyard, first of all, when they all show up to escort her out, you had the super wide of all those kids. It's like everyone from the school, and you see her work her way from the very back of the crowd, work her way forward, and then she goes out and she's leaving her peers at the school. And we're now at a super wide where we're watching her walk up to her new peers, which is this Yakuza clan, and it's wild and it's awesome. And there's that transaction, and then also when she gets kicked out of school, and it's a wonder that you like watch her walk across the schoolyard.
And you see just all these
groups of boys waving by, and then talking like, "We're gonna make a petition to get you back in school," and then like one of them, and it's this movie handles her character also, I think. I had a legitimate fear, like, going into this movie that she was going to be sexualized in a weird way, or just, like, something...
That's fair. It's so weird to say this, but I've seen a lot of live-action Japanese movies, and I'm not going to lie, a lot of them have rape. Most of them. I have all 5 Lone Wolf and Cubs. Yeah, every last one of it. Rashomon?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rashomon's about it.
Yeah.
it's
and I was just worried because we have a very young female protagonist. It's a live action Japanese picture. And she's wearing a sailor suit. You know, like the whole, like that's like part of the gimmick. Is that like she's a badass in a sailor suit. I was really worried about like where this was gonna go.
That makes sense.
But honestly, like a lot of like the artwork and stuff for it, none of it was suggestive. So that's what I eventually was like, okay, let's watch this. This seems like it might be different. It was not that at all. Like there is like definitely like some of the like villains are definitely like a little creepy with some of like the little side comments, but it's nothing.
And also the one that actively tries to rape her because he like roofies her.
Yeah.
But you're thinking something.
Okay.
Something's boggling your mind.
No, it's okay. But for the most part, it's like handled, I think, very well.
Yeah.
And kind of realistically. Like it's like a realistic like I mean, not that like the concept and like how she gains power, none of that's realistic at all.
No.
But once you're willing to buy in to the logic, like okay, like this is just what's happened.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really any different than if you were watching anime.
Yeah.
And there was just some strange explanation why the main character is living alone.
Yeah, it is like the classic like anime explanation for like why she's like now the leader of this Yakuza clan.
Dude, I've played 3 Persona games. The 5th one had like the strangest explanation for that, where like he was in a whole trial and got expelled from a school, and then like his parents didn't want him living at the house for whatever reason, and he had to live with some random dude that's not, he's not even related to. Like,
so bizarre.
You have to just buy into it sometimes.
Yeah, but once you had that initial buy-in, I think everything was handled like pretty realistically, pretty delicately.
Yeah.
And dude, and the dynamics between her and her like Yakuza family are really like often very endearing. And she does kind of like mother them, and she has the line about how like before her dad passed that like, you know, grandma is not alive or like has passed, not around. not really sure. And obviously there's like wife or mom's not in the, like the dad's wife's not in the picture, her mom's not in the picture. And so like she talks about how she like would kind of like mother her dad a little bit, and you could tell that she kind of mothers the boys at school a little bit, and she definitely like becomes like a real matriarchal figure for this yakuza family.
There's that scene. What really sucks is spoiler warning, by the way. I do have to say spoiler warning, even more so than like any of the movies we've watched up to this point, because this movie does have more like a twist and some shocking moments in it that's supposed to be like your first time watching. So apologies for spoilers ahead of time. But like, yeah, I'm not going to lie to you, all the Yakuza dudes died. Yeah. And like the scene with May, he had the whole thing where he's like, "You smell like my mom." Yeah. And then he starts like breaking down. Yeah. He was my favorite one.
Yeah, and because he's so sweet, and you can tell, and like he legitimately, what I liked about that scene, because like I had my hat like for like a moment I was kind of like, is this gonna get weird? But it doesn't. It like really is.
Never did.
No, it is like very much like, you know, he had a rough home life, and he kind of always craved having like an actual mother figure, and for whatever reason, this high school girl who is now the leader of his yakuza clan is the closest thing he's had to like a good like parental figure in his life, because he's just grown up as like this Japanese like punk kid, and he has this moment where he like kind of like cries in front of her, and then immediately like feels ashamed that he like needed to be comforted by her, because he's like supposed to be her bodyguard.
And then he died right after that.
And dude, it's so quick and so alarming, and it hits you like a pound of bricks, dude.
It really does. But that kind of like brings back the earlier conversation she had with another character, where she felt like to her dad she was also his mom, his sister, and his daughter, like all rolled in one, because at some point it was like, who is taking care of who
right
here? It seemed like all of them really, to some extent, needed one of those three things. Yeah. Or four. And it did get it kind of a little weird at one point.
Oh, with Sakamoto?
Sakuma.
Yeah, Sakuma, that's what it is.
Sakamoto, racist bastard.
Well, no, I've been watching Sakamoto Days on Netflix.
Yeah. Okay. Just because they're both Japanese.
He's also a hitman.
Oh. You saying all Japanese men are Yakuza hitmen?
I didn't say anything about him being Yakuza. I just said he was a hitman. So you tell me.
You're putting words in my mouth. Yeah, where she gave his dead body a kiss. Yeah. At the end there. Yeah. I don't know if that was in theatrical.
It is.
Remember. Okay, it was in
the... Yeah, that is a little weird, but it's also like completely, I mean, he's dead, so it's like completely on her terms, and it's definitely like a goodbye.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, so that's why I think it read more sweet than anything. Although she does have like that really weird line where she's like thinking in her head as she's like walking through the streets, and she's like, I'm gonna grow up to be a stupid girl because my first kiss was a middle-aged man.
Okay, so I just spotted a difference with what I watched and what you watched. Yeah. Sakuma does have a line. Okay, so after they find out about the heroin being in the lotion, right?
He says, "I'm falling for you."
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Okay, that was
he does say that,
and it also kind of felt more like a kind of joking comment.
Yeah, no, I definitely seemed it. Yeah, it was definitely more like
I don't think he was being serious, because the way he said it, as opposed to the way some of the chairmen said something like that.
It felt more like a jest, and it was because like she, at this point, like there was definitely a jump where like she was still somewhat, and she like kind of still. Okay, I'll say it like. There's definitely a jump in like she's now crossed a line, because she's straight up like firing a gun at someone now at this point. And I think it's like definitely saying in jest, because she's saying like, no, you're kind of like a badass now. Like it's definitely like
more than expecting that from you,
right?
Of all people,
yeah. And I think that's a really interesting, at the climax of this movie, there is an amazing it's where we get it. It is sailor suit machine gun.
Where she pulls out the machine gun and just goes to town.
And it is like this amazing moment. But the most interesting thing was the two remaining Yakuza members' reaction to it, because like it is like this. It's the only slow-mo shot in the film.
The whole movie.
Yeah, and but you can see one of them is like being the watchdog. You know what I mean? And he's pleased. Like you can tell that he's like kind of like proud of her. Like
he's like, hell yeah, this is our boss.
Yeah, she's
like
a freaking Yakuza leader now. And then Sakamo, on the other hand, Sakama. I'm gonna get it eventually. Sakama is
Jean-Claude.
Is obviously like, I think on his face, the expression I read more was like
a little bit concerned.
Yeah, or like a little bit like maybe just like there's a loss of innocence happening here, and that is kind of sad. And like especially because like he talks about it later on, where he's like, we see it earlier in the film too, when she's trying to help him she kind of helps him in a weird way work through these emotions by just kind of like mocking him and repeating what he says. Where like he is having this issue where like, first of all, he's known as like the hitman of the group. Like they refer to him as
the fastest, not the fastest gun in the West.
No, I think they
something like that.
Yeah, they refer to him as the fastest death or the fastest killer or something like that. The fastest death.
Something.
I think they call him the fastest death, a straight killing machine or something like that. So he is kind of like the main hitman of the group, and you see it like he is the Dirty Harry, like Clint Eastwood, like quick with the gun in this movie. Like the large, because like her Yakuza group is super small, but the main reason they're not like just getting absolutely punked left and right is because like no one wants to mess with him. Like throughout all the other Yakuza clan members are like, we do not want to get in a gunfight with this guy.
And like there also always felt like there was a little bit of respect,
right,
going on with the group in general because of how they talked about how they interacted with some of the other clans,
right?
And then even post like Sailor Suit here, becoming this leader. A lot of that respect was lost.
Yeah.
Because they're like, a 15-year-old girl. Yeah. We could do whatever we want.
Yeah.
But then there was like the machine gun shootout that happened. Yeah. And then when she went to confront the guys about like someone being beaten up, he was like, no, we were told not to by this big boss.
Yeah, big.
Said, don't do it.
I'm trying to think of all the names.
He had his own tower.
The Hagagachi? Yeah. The guy who's like his front was being a movie producer.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like a slight jab almost.
Yeah. Something about it did feel like, oh, okay.
The director's like, Toye over here is like, that Japanese Spider-Man that's happening across the street is a front for Yakuza.
Yeah.
That's why your suit got stolen.
Yeah. Like, there's something there. But
maybe he's good friends with the producer and always joked about.
But there's definitely okay, they can all tell their weakness because they all go in on that family a little bit.
Yeah.
But they're also all keeping each other in check because if they take over them and all of their turf, then
they got to answer to the big boss,
right? Because that's going to throw off the balance, or the big boss, or Fatso, who's obviously still has a very powerful.
Fatso was the only one that did not have respect, did not care, and kept like poking and prodding.
He saw the weakness as an immediate like I got to go, and he's known to be by the other bosses as particularly brutal.
Yeah, like if drugs is happening in the city, Fatso knows about it, and if he doesn't get his drugs, he loses his shit.
Yeah.
And you definitely see that.
Yeah, like that's definitely the thing. It's like if you are selling drugs in Tokyo, Fatso gets a cut, or there will be brutal violence. Like that is like that's part of it.
Yeah.
Once again, this movie actually does such a good job of world building the Yakuza and like all these clans in
Tokyo. They also go to show you that not just like that one Yakuza member that's like the fastest gun in the East. We'll call him. Because they have the moment where she confronts that one leader and he's like, you come to me again, you see what happens. And he starts dunking her in the concrete.
Yeah.
And then like he gets a call, and then like the clan's like, yeah, we have your son. We're dunking him in water right now. Hear him cry. Touch our boss. He's dead. Yeah. Your dumbass son is dead.
Yeah.
And then like he freaks out, and then that's the moment where you're like, that's why they're still here.
Yeah.
Right? There may be 4 of them left, but
they're workers, dude.
They're the 4 like scariest people in this entire city.
Yeah, they did seem like the other Bobs like were just kind of like, I don't know, they felt just more like, goofs, like henchmen. They really felt like henchmen.
They felt like mini bosses.
Yeah, well, all 4 of her guys felt like
they were the retired big bosses in the spin-off games.
Yeah. Like all of her guys felt like they had it.
Yeah, except like maybe May.
Yeah, May was definitely the greenest.
Yeah, May was the greenest.
But like he still stepped up, kind of like.
He did try a lot.
Well,
and he was guarding her.
Yeah, and that last, right before that last scene with him, like he steps up in a big way because he gets his ass beat, and then still pulls out the knife and is like, you're not going to see her.
Yeah.
And like ultimately he does work because she would have been got.
Yeah, he was not afraid of anything. Yeah. And it also felt like he knew everyone around him could probably just kick his ass and kill him.
Be scrappy, dude.
Yeah, but he's just like, I ain't going down without swinging quite a lot.
And but that ultimately saves her because if what's the detective dude or what's his name would have gone up there.
Oh yeah, were you expecting that twist?
A little bit. Yeah. Just because like.
He was so quick to say that it was drugs.
Yeah.
That they were looking for.
There was obviously something off about him. I didn't know if that off was...
him being so sweaty.
Yeah, because he's incredibly sweaty. No, I couldn't tell if, like, he's only pretending to be a dirty cop or if, like... is he more working in his own self-interest or is he working with another... like, there was... obviously something was off. I didn't know him working for Fatso. Spoiler alert! My God.
Yeah. So huge. But I mean, we already said all of them die.
Yeah. So, but like that in itself was a huge like, whoa. But I knew something was amiss.
Yeah. That and him being incredibly sweaty.
Sweaty and like I just like
he shows. Okay.
I got the vibe that he's a functional alcoholic, and I don't know if that's even like put into.
Maybe that's why he was so sweaty. He had withdrawals. Okay,
he felt like he had like some drinking sweats going on.
Listeners, I know I keep bringing up his sweats, but like the scene he shows up in. He's slung his jacket over his shoulder
because he's
and
so sweaty.
He's fanning himself. And there's like beads of sweat from the sun glistening off his forehead. Yeah. And he has his sleeves rolled up, and that's him throughout the entire movie.
There's literally a scene where they're like everyone else looks completely comfortable.
And they're got outside, like suits on?
Yeah, they're wearing like Victorian dresses. And like it's outside. Everyone else seems completely comfortable. He walks up. He's obviously sweaty.
He's fanning himself and he's like drinking water. He's just so off-putting. He's like Albert in broadcast news when he's doing Saturday night. Yeah. The weekend broadcast. He's just so absurdly
sweaty.
He's so sweaty. For me, I can't believe I'm bringing it up a second time, but he reminded me, this is what kind of made me feel like something, like he was kind of a bad guy.
Yeah.
He reminded me so much about a character in Persona 4 Golden.
Maybe that's where they pulled it from.
Who was a dirty cop. Well, I wouldn't say dirty cop. He was just an evil cop. He was... Spoiler alert if you haven't played the game, he was one of the killers. Not the killer, oddly enough, but in like his demeanor was completely the demeanor of the dirty cop.
Yeah.
And part of me wonders, because apparently this is like, there's some pop culture relevance with Sailor Suit and Machine Gun.
Yeah, for sure.
That I've seen. And there's a good chance that Adachi over here was probably semi-inspired by this character. Or maybe it's just a common trope of Japanese dirty cops where they are constantly walking around the way he walks around.
He had like the big swinging arms whenever he walked. He definitely did remind me of like some of the detectives.
Super scrawny.
Yeah,
That's another trope.
He definitely reminds me of some of like the characters I've seen in like Japanese noir films.
Yeah,
so
that's
like
always dirty or something.
Yeah, they're like they're always. I mean, it's like the same thing of our noir films. It's just the way they characterize it is a little bit different. Like our guys are always like, I feel like American
They're
noir
always like
films.
Harvey Bullock.
Yeah, they're always like
Batman.
they're like, I got a suit and a trench coat on and a fedora. And I'm always like smoking cigars. I'm a functional alcoholic. I have an ex-wife, not a current wife, ex-wife always.
I got 2 emotional scars, a bullet lodged and the doctor forgot to remove, and a drinking problem. And tonight's like this. I feel all 4 wounds. Like that kind of level.
Yeah. And like. Japanese noir detectives feel like very much out of like Stray Dogs. Like they're just like so scrappy.
Yeah.
It's the scrappiest dude to ever scrap. It's like he's scrawny, he's in a suit, but it's rolled up. He's not wearing the suit formally. I've never seen a suit look more casual on somebody.
And he's never wearing the jacket because he's always so sweaty.
Yeah, the jacket's slung around his shoulder or is like hiked up to his biceps. And he's just like the way he moves is just like he's like he's got to like almost swim through the sweat, like the humidity. Like he's
always going through like some kind of explanation, like deep explanation, like the drug thing.
Yeah.
When Sailor Suit over here calls him and is like, "Hey, my house has been ransacked," and he's like, "Oh, they ransacked it because it's got to be drugs."
Yeah.
You know, drugs is a big... Don't you laugh. This is a serious matter. And then, like, keeps going on to, like, this, like, over-explanation almost. Like, that was the moment where you're just kind of like, yeah, I don't think he's a good guy.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, like, have you seen Memories of Murder? No, it's a Korean film.
No, I'm sorry.
But it's a Korean...
Sorry, I don't watch those kind of movies.
What do you mean?
Movies about murder.
But it is like a Korean film about detectives, and like there's like I don't know, they just sweaty detectives.
It's just constantly sweaty detectives.
I kind of there for it.
I don't see it for Hong Kong movies as much.
Yeah,
but they're usually like the good guys because they're played by Jackie Chan.
Right. Right.
And then Jackie Chan's boss is always like the dirty one.
The only Jackie Chan movie where I really feel like that guy's sweaty is like Drunken Fist.
Yeah, but everybody was sweaty in those kind of movies.
Yeah.
Because they were filming outside in like the middle of
because they earned it.
Yeah, it's also so bright in those movies that like diffusion, I don't think was really much of a thing, because if you watch those movies like The Drunken Master or 36 Chambers of Shaolin,
there's no soft
like
focus
glistening.
Because
they're stopped down to
we're
like
F-18.
They're like F-18. They probably have two or three ND filters in front of the camera, and it's like they can't do diffusion because otherwise they just wouldn't be able to see anything. Yeah, and that the sun is the source. Like it's crazy how glistening of sweat they are in those movies. Yeah, I do love my kung fu movies though. And Arrow Video does do a lot of kung fu movie restorations. Well, Here, I'm gonna throw this out at you. Yep. I know it's not about Sailor Suit, but Jackie Chan. Yeah. In Return of the Dragon. Yeah. When Bruce Lee is doing the staff trick and he's fighting off a bunch of dudes like a horde of goons. Yeah. And he's like beating them up. He actually, if you notice, he actually does hit someone, like bonks him on the head with the staff, and that was completely by accident. It was supposed to fake it. But he accidentally overextended the staff and been bumped like that. That guy that got bonked on the head was Jackie Chan. And he talks about it later. He was like, yeah, I got bonked on the head. And then after the take, Bruce came up to me to talk to me, asked me if I was okay.
Yeah.
And I was so starstruck that Jackie Chan said he was starstruck by Bruce Lee. And he was like, I was just so starstruck. I was like, yeah, I'm fine.
It's fine.
Okay. And Bruce Lee's like, oh, what style are you learning? And then they start talking about martial arts. So people like to say that Bruce Lee infused his ability.
Yeah.
That was the moment he passed the torch to Jackie Chan.
Yeah, that's like if I was doing a fight scene with Henry Cavill and he just smoked me.
He did the shotgun arm thing,
he
boom.
Yeah, he loaded it up and just smoked me.
Broke your nose.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Are you okay?" And I'll be like, I'm fine. No, it's completely fine.
That's fine, Cavill.
It's fine, Kev. You play Custodes?
You're good shitless.
Yeah, I just immediately try to talk Warhammer with him the moment I get. That's the dream.
It's still so funny to me. He almost missed his Superman audition because he was raiding a World of Warcraft. Yeah. I love that guy.
It's so amazing.
It's so awesome.
I really hope Warhammer goes well for him.
Yeah, considering that Superman and The Witcher didn't.
Yeah,
he needs a win.
Yeah, and he is still supposed to be the executive producer on it. So
He bought everyone on the set like Warhammer figurines.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
But like the whole crew, like
which is not cheap, man.
Even the PAs just got. I mean, the guy was Superman. It may as well be cheap to him.
Well, I'm just saying, dude. As a man who struggles to get the occasional Warhammer box.
Yeah, but you're not the Man of Steel.
That's true. That's true.
Steal those buttons and you can get some Warhammer figurines. Anyway, back to Sailor Suit.
Yeah.
This is not a real episode. We're not.
Yeah,
it's
not too casual. We've been back and forth.
It's not too. I love Toei movies though.
Yeah.
Because it's just stuff like this where it's like an absurd plot, and you go in, you're like, I'm looking for some camp, and you come out with something far.
And you're like,
greater
this was
than
actually
that.
just a great heartfelt coming of age film.
I know
it just happens to be about gangsters.
So the other movie that Cole was debating about, it's called the Game Trilogy. Mm-hmm. It's 3 movies, but I just say Game Trilogy because it's so much easier to look up than The Most Dangerous Game,
right?
Which is a short story and a movie.
It has been adaptations
exactly, so it's harder to find, and unless you know the Japanese name, which I do not, it's just hard to find. That one is also Yakuza. Well, it's about a hitman that gets hired by Yakuza, and it's like he's got to fight off a bunch of 2 different clans, and the actor served as the inspiration for the only Spike Spiegel of Cowboy Bebop, and it's just kind of the same level of I went in this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
I'm so ready for it, and I came out that cinematography was awesome. Yeah. They also do a lot of zooms in those as well, because I guess it was just easier for long takes.
Yeah. Well, and it's weird they bring up, if you notice, there's also a lot of zooms in Stanley Kubrick films and stuff. Mm-hmm. Zoomed
we've moved away from it.
Well, and then also zoom cinema lenses was the name of the game for back in the day.
Yeah, because the cameras were so heavy you couldn't move it over 5 inches.
Right.
So you had to sit it in a place, and your best bet was a zoom lens that was quality, high quality.
But they're it's just a weird thing that we've moved away from.
We have moved away from it, and I think this goes back to that one conversation we had when I think you went on your rant about everything being super shallow or super in focus, all the time. Yeah. It's one or the other, and there's no in between. Yeah. That's one thing I liked about Superman. It's
probably ran about 28 years.
Yeah, it was. And you know what? That's one thing I liked about Superman is they didn't lean too much into... And also, I noticed about Superman, and I was thinking this when I was sitting there watching it, I was like, Cole was just talking about this, and it's the blocking.
Yeah.
In the part where the Daily Planet, everybody in the background's losing their shit, and Lois and Jimmy are just so here you go, Perry. Here's our pitch, and then Perry's just sitting there smoking a cigar. Yeah. I was like, Cole was just talking about how this kind of blocking
doesn't exist in Marvel movies.
It's not there.
It just isn't there.
Because like Shield headquarters
Is the most
and then
bland
Daily
thing.
Planet, they're like screaming like we're gonna die.
Yeah, no, the Daily Planet looks more frantic than Shield headquarters during like a crisis.
And Steve just sitting in the corner crying.
Yeah.
Tell her I love her.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like trying to call his ex-wife.
I want to hear her voice.
And then there's a also like the scene. Now we're talking about Superman.
Yeah, now we're
The scene where
maybe we should have just made this
instead of
episode
Superman.
Superman instead of Sailor Stone. I'm just still so hyped for that, and I think what the reason why is because Fantastic Four
is about to happen.
is about to happen, and I've been as hype, if not more hype for that than Superman. Yeah. So
also the scene where him and Lois are having their second important conversation. The scene where he's like,
"Oh yeah, they're fine."
It's well, he's like, she's like, "You're gonna do all that for a dog," and it's like, "Yeah, but he's my dog, and he's alone, and he's scared."
No, he didn't say my dog because it's
not his dog.
It's more of a foster situation.
Right.
He said, "Yeah, he's probably just alone and scared."
Yeah.
Apparently, test audiences for the movie. Well, you already know this. You've watched every interview.
Yeah.
The squirrel thing.
Yeah. I know, and I love they kept it in. I love that they kept
James
it in.
Gunn made the right call.
Yeah, 100%.
He really just went, no, it's the audience who is wrong.
Yeah, no, he really did. He was like, I know they said the squirrel thing was dumb. I think
leave it.
It's the perfect Superman little moment. It's like it's all. Can I save the squirrel? I probably got enough time to save the squirrel, and he saves the squirrel.
The squirrel.
But like while they're having that second conversation, where like the second really intimate like conversation we see with them, they're fighting the interdimensional imp in the back. The Justice Gang is.
I love that.
And he's like, oh, they got it. It's just the interdimensional imp. But I'm like, because like, dude, he could have just done. There could have been it could have just been nighttime.
Yeah.
But he was like,
they added a little something to the world.
That's not Metropolis, though. There's probably some crazy shit going on outside.
But that's what I love about these Japanese Yakuza films is because they built crazy segue, I know. But the way they build up this world of like this Yakuza system is so good.
It is so good.
Like people always talk
Grades
about John Wick kind of doing a really good job. And I will admit, I think John Wick does actually do a pretty good job at establishing this assassin worlds that they live in. But Toei did it first.
Yeah, dude.
And they did it decades before, and I think they even to an extent did a better job at it because they just casually say something. Whereas John Wick sometimes makes a point of showing it off.
Yeah,
and it's like, I don't really need to see that.
Right. I mean, this is handled more delicately.
Yeah.
And it doesn't spoon feed you anything. It just gives you enough to where you start to build this world, and then suddenly when things start moving and shaking in it, it's like I have a full understanding of how this works because I was with this character as she had to kind of like be thrown into this world and understand it. And
but like even with the game trilogy, like the main character is already in this world. He's like the top dog, hitman. Yeah. Like he's the go-to.
He's Sakamoto.
Yeah, he's the super expensive one.
Shout out to Sakamoto days.
He's Sakamoto and Sakuma combined in one.
Yeah. And Spike Spiegel.
Yeah, he is Spike Spiegel. But it does like this amazing job of like establishing this Yakuza world and how like the different clans interact with each other and go about like hiring other people to like fight in like territories. Yeah. That's a big thing with like
territories huge.
Territories are big with organized crimes.
Oh yeah.
And you know what?
You know how many times that's used in one of Martin's movies, you know?
Oh my god. Okay, here's my thing. About mobster movies.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I said this as a setup, and we don't have time for more setups.
No, and in general, like we're talking organized crime movies.
Yeah.
Italian mobster movies.
Yeah.
Overrated. The Mafia games are better. For the most part.
Got them.
Look. Don't get me wrong. I love Godfather Part 1 and 2 and Goodfellas. I think for me, that's where it ends.
The extent
that's
of it.
just kind of where it is.
What about
Scarface? The one with Al Pacino is pretty enjoyable.
Yeah.
I would rather Sailor Suit and Machine Gun,
100%.
where it has
It's far better film.
almost the same ending.
Yeah. Oddly enough, same ending, way better film.
Way better film.
Way better film. Objectively, I'm sorry. When people say Scarface is their favorite film, it makes me filled with rage because I've had people tell me.
Like,
that
first of all,
before.
you didn't even pick the best mobster movie.
Yeah,
you
it's
could've.
not the best mobster movie. It just has the most cocaine. Like,
Yeah, it really does.
That's what it is.
That's like the
though.
best scene.
It's because you think it's edgy and like you're like, that's cool, and I'm like, objectively, it's not a very good movie at all. It's just, it's fun. It's sure it's a fun movie, but like, it's not even the best mobster movie anyway.
Yeah, but like for me though, you tell me Yakuza is involved.
I'm
I'm
like
like,
a little more into it.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
That's like
I
the
really-
only like organized crime movies where I'm like, I gotta watch.
I
it.
really do like in The Departed, the depiction of the Irish mafia in Boston is a way different vibe,
Irish
and it's
mob.
pretty big.
Have you
It's pretty
seen?
cool.
I don't know how I feel about Gangs of New York, which also had an Irish.
Gangs of New York is a movie. The
it's
first time
hit
I
or miss
watched
for
it,
me.
I was 13 or 14, and I thought it was the coolest movie I'd ever seen in my entire life.
Oh my God. So
and then I watched it as an older adult and was like, it's not, I'm not going to say it's bad, but way underwhelming.
Yeah, I was like 17 when I watched
Yeah.
it, and we watched it in my history through film class.
That's insane. In
yeah,
high
that
school?
teacher. Yeah, that teacher was awesome. That was the first time they
Has
ever
to
taught
be.
it. But she
Showing
was,
Gangs of New York to a high school, I wouldn't do that.
yeah, she was. It was awesome.
Yeah, okay.
She was an awesome teacher, but
There's a crazy
part of
orgy
it was
scene in that
because
movie.
of like the prohibition, and she was trying to find an exciting prohibition movie.
Sure.
And you know, it was like either that or something far crazier for a group of high schoolers.
Yes, there's a lot of like heroin and orgies in that movie.
You know,
Opium and orgies.
I just
Sorry,
remember
they're not heroin.
I
they're
just
smoking.
remember hearing Liam Neeson speak.
Okay,
and then
hey, that
hold
opening-
on, Liam Neeson speak, and then it immediately follows with Leonardo DiCaprio's absolutely atrocious Irish accent right after the Irishman himself speaks, and I went, "Dear God, I have to watch an entire movie where Leo does this entire accent." I'm not gonna lie, he kind of sucks with accents.
Yeah, it's not his strong suit.
Yeah, neither is Benedict Cumberbatch.
Or Brad Pitt.
Yeah, we're Brad Pitt. I don't know, Brad Pitt's kind of alright with Southern
Here's the
ones.
thing with Brad Pitt is I can't tell you that they're going to be good from a factual standpoint, but they're at least fun.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
that's my thing is like I know people give him a lot of crap over like the Aldo Rain accent, a lot of the accents he's done in movies, but I'm like, you know what? He goes big. Like
It's a go big or go home.
yeah.
Good old Benny Pumpernickel is just kind of like has a terrible Southern accent.
No, he did, but he tries.
And
Are you
Leo
Power
should
the
just
dog.
Leo
Shout
should
out.
just stick to
Shout out
speaking.
Power the dog.
Leo should just stick to speaking with his normal voice.
Yeah, I think the issue
I
with Leo
love
is he
him.
tries to do something that is like super technical and
and
can't do
it
it.
just can't. You gotta ham it up. If you're gonna go and do an accent, you gotta take the Nick Cage route where
Yeah.
you just go as hard as you possibly
Yeah.
can, because you're either gonna nail it
Yeah.
or it's at least gonna be make the movie enjoyable.
No, you either like put in if you think you can't pull it off like legit, just go big.
Yeah, just go big or go home.
Yeah.
Literally, take the Nick Cage route. Like
Yeah.
Con Air, Nick Cage does not do a great Southern accent, but
You don't think so?
that movie, if he didn't go as hard with that accent as he did, I think that movie would have been far less enjoyable.
It literally is the same thing as like Brad Pitt's.
Exactly, that's
the
what I'm
same thing.
saying.
It's the same
Or
thing.
when he did the Adam West impression
Yeah.
for Kick-Ass,
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about,
Yes.
right? Like he went harder with it, and if he stuck to speaking normally,
Yeah.
I don't think his character would have worked as well. Like honestly, that's a rare Nick Cage idea win.
I really wish we could have seen him as with the Jamaican accent in the Green Hornet movie.
I'm so glad you brought that up because I was also going to. And then it served as inspiration for James Franco's Jamaican accent in Spring Breakers.
That's upsetting.
Yeah, you bring up the
A24.
how much of this Nick Cage Jamaican accent do you know about? Because I could give you the full rundown.
I just know it was pitched to Seth Rogen as part of. Hey, we have to go.
You're right. You know what? I'll tell you the story afterward.
Okay, before we get into a whole Nick Cage segment that will certainly be 30 minutes.
Yeah, we gotta go.
We gotta go. Wes, before we leave, even though it is a casual one, what's your bean rating on Sailor Suit Machine Gun?
So I think the first time I watched it, I would have probably given it 8. Mm-hmm. Second time watching it, I was like, it just reminded me how good the cinematography alone is. And they're just not afraid to do anything with it. Yeah. But also just overall how good the movie is and how good it is on a rewatch. I got to give it a solid 9 beans.
Yeah.
Dude. And you know what? I'll take it a step further. Solid 9 of the exact beans we drank earlier today.
I'm going to give it 8 of the beans we gave today. But I'm going to be honest, I love the beans we had today.
Yeah. Okay.
Dear
listeners, the beans we had were phenomenal.
Phenomenal beans today.
They're delicious.
And this movie is
delicious.
Yeah. All right.
Next time we are going to watch
The Comfort of Strangers.
Yeah, starring Christopher Walken and Helen Mirren.
Yeah.
We should be back with O'Brien himself.
With O'Brien, we'll have a proper episode. We're sorry for the shenanigans.
Yeah, this is not a real episode, though. So, joke's on you.
Bye.